Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Adam22, and I'm back, still just trying to make sense of all the insane hip-hop news that happened while I was on my little trip. So let's get right into the bullshit. First and foremost, we need to talk about the situation that unfolded about a week ago with Almighty Jay. So there's been some new leads in this whole situation, lots of new stuff to talk about. Academics is just missing at the wheel. Nobody knows where he is. His channel hasn't been updated in almost a week, so I guess it's on me. I gotta come and hit you guys with the news. So basically this all started, there was one fateful day where Almighty Jay got into a big ass brawl. This was the first thing that happened. He got into a big brawl outside of Saks Fifth in New York City, and allegedly he was beefing with members of Lil TJ's crew. Now, for those who don't know, Lil TJ, we did an interview with him. He's really dope. He's coming right out of the Bronx. So it kind of makes sense that he would be running around in New York City and that him and his crew might have ran into the YBN boys and that they might have had issues. But we're not going to show that video because it is a little violent. Actually, that's going to be our policy for all the things going on in this video, so we're not going to show all the violence. But anyway, that happened. It didn't seem like it was that bad based on the video. But then a much worse video came out a few hours later, and apparently what happened in that situation is that a group of assailants found Almighty Jay while he was leaving an apartment of some sort in New York City. They grabbed him. He tried to run. They beat the dog shit out of him, broke a Hennessy bottle over his head, cut him open. Apparently he had to get 300 stitches. There's a super brutal photo that, again, we're not going to show right here because there's something about YouTube and how they might want to demonetize videos that include photos of gaping bloody wounds. Well, anyway, after that news came out, everybody was sort of curious. Who were these dudes that felt the need to beat the shit out of Almighty Jay, and why were they inspired to do so? Well, we sort of found out who it was because Jay Prince actually took to his Instagram and made this big old post about it. Now, for those who don't know, Jay Prince, mastermind behind the Rap-A-Lot Records empire, and a lot of you probably didn't know this, but he actually has invested in Almighty Jay's career. I'm not sure if that means that he's invested in all of the members of YBN, but apparently there's some sort of relationship there. Anyway, Jay Prince, he took to Instagram and he wrote, "Mob ties, call to my real street dudes around the world, especially on the East Coast in the Bronx. There's a clown by the name of Zay and his crew who want to become famous by bragging about robbing rap industry dudes. They recently bragged about robbing the artist YBN Almighty Jay, who I'm invested in. They robbed him of his money and jewelry, including a Rap-A-Lot piece, so therefore they have robbed a piece of me. This is a perfect opportunity to execute our unity where we don't allow moment thinkers to muddy the waters over the movement. With that being said, to the homies in the Bronx, if any of these clowns are y'all family or friends, speak now so we can get an understanding. To ignore this is a recipe for disaster. Other than that, it's these clowns versus the realest in every hood around the world, and that is the meaning of mob ties." And then he went on to tag a shitload of different important, prominent hip-hop figures in the scene: Funk Flex, My Son, Cardi B, A Boogie, Fat Joe, Swizz Beatz, pretty much everybody. And a few of these people were not exactly happy about the way he went about handling this. Notably, My Son went on a little tirade that you can find on YouTube if you want to read that, where he felt like this is basically snitching. It was sort of a inappropriate way for Jay Prince to handle this. Now, the artist in question, Zay number 5, well, he actually put a music video out already that shows him flexing the jewelry that was stolen from Almighty Jay. Now, I have heard some snippets of the song. I'm going to be honest with you, it's horrible, really bad. This guy could pretty much steal all the jewelry that he wants. It's not going to help his music career at all. But I'm actually having a hard time finding it on YouTube right now. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it might have been removed. And the reason why it was probably removed, aside from the fact that, you know, if you're going to rob somebody to steal their jewelry, you probably shouldn't just post it up on YouTube right after, is because a federal indictment has been unsealed about these knuckleheads. Let's check it out. Now, the crazy thing about this is that these guys were not actually arrested for assaulting Almighty Jay. They were arrested for a completely different charge that's completely unrelated to it. I don't know if the cops decided to move in on them because there was such an obvious chance with that whole Jay Prince statement that something might happen to them in the streets. Who knows? This might be kind of like the 6ix9ine case where they thought that maybe their guy was going to get killed anyway, so they went in and swooped him up and picked him up up because they wanted to be the one to serve justice instead of having people on the streets serve justice. But anyway, this guy is number 5. He's apparently part of this group called the Jack Boys, and him and 4 other people, no, I guess it's 4 people in total, they were arrested, and TMZ is saying that is because they are facing charges of attempted murder in the aid of racketeering. So basically some gangster shit. We don't really know exactly what they were trying to do in this situation that they're describing here, but it seems as if this situation does not relate to the Almighty Jay situation. And I'm actually reading conflicting reports, because in this article I'm reading right here, it does say that the YBN rapper, this is Hot New Hip Hop, they're the ones who wrote this, they wrote, the YBN rapper told authorities that he's willing to cooperate at this point in the investigation. Interesting. Cooperate, huh? Now, don't take it from me. Don't take it from the person who wrote this article. I'm not believing it until we see actual proof. But, you know, snitching is a hot topic in hip-hop right now. And an earlier version of this article that I was reading basically said YBN was not being cooperative with the police. So not exactly 100% sure. But one thing is for sure is that it seems like if these guys are really guilty of attempted murder, then the whole YBN Almighty Jay situation might not actually matter. Almighty Jay, I've known him for a while. He's a good dude. I fuck with Ace, his manager. I fuck with Corday. I fuck with Namir. I don't like seeing Jay get hurt. So either way, no matter what happens with the situation, I just want to make it perfectly clear that I feel for the kid. And there's a reason why we did not repost the video on the No Jumper Instagram, because I found it very, very unsettling to see a video of a young guy like him getting jumped and beat up like that. It just seemed really wrong, especially when I seen the photo of him with his face slashed open. I was just kind of upset about the whole thing. So I'm not a big fan of this whole situation. YBN, love you guys. Hopefully everything is moving ahead smoothly. Next story. Okay, so next story, let's just do a little bit of an update on the YNW Melly situation. We don't have a ton of news about what's going on with all of that, but there is this really revealing clip that has come out of YNW Melly's mother speaking about Sack Chaser, who was one of the friends of Melly who was killed one way or another, and the cops are saying that Melly did it. Now, I'm not going to bore you with this whole 3-minute clip. You can go find it on YouTube if you want, but for the most part, his mom is really, really gangster. She's talking about Sack Chaser and she's calling him a pussy. She says you couldn't even take a weed charge. She says that, like, you know, she says you were trying to flex on me with that little ass gun. I got big guns. So I mean, this is the kind of stuff that I've never heard my mother say, and I would be pretty shocked to hear most people's mothers say. But I guess it gives you a little bit more of a window into where Melly's coming from, what his parents who brought him up might have been like, and what the situation might have been that might have led to such an incident occurring between Sack Chaser, Juvie, and Melly. Because up to this point, we still don't really have any real clues. We really don't know what kind of situation might have unfolded or why. We don't really have a motive. That's the thing that I've been trying to pay attention for. A lot of people seem to just want to say, oh, Melly killed his friends, he's a fucked up dude. We don't know that that's true, but if it is true, why? That's what I want to know. I just want to know why. Why did this happen, if it did happen? So this video is just a crazy little piece of the puzzle where YNW Melly's mom is making it very clear that she did not have a lot of respect for Sack Chaser, and that he in fact did pull a gun on her at one point, at least if you want to believe her side of the story. Next story. OG Maco. I've been trying to get him to do an interview for the past couple months. I just feel like he has a really interesting story. He was really a SoundCloud pioneer that doesn't get a lot of credit. And when I was talking to him, telling him that I wanted to do the interview, he seemed like he was postponing, and he just kept mentioning that he didn't look good or that he was kind of messed up, and I didn't really pry for information. Well, it turns out that he's actually contracted this skin-eating, flesh-eating bacteria disease that is completely ravaging his face. You can see these photos right here. He took to Instagram and he wrote about it. He actually said, "So much healing has occurred thanks to God and my doctors that I'm willing to show all a fraction of what I've been going through." He uploaded to his Instagram story, and then he also wrote, "Everybody I thought would be here, who I really thought I could depend on, wasn't there. It caused me to not trust anybody. I was scared. I didn't know what was going to happen or if I was going to lose my entire face. I almost did." So wow, Maco has actually been through a lot of different stuff throughout his career. You'll remember that he had this crazy ass car accident that left him wearing an eye patch. One of his eyes was permanently damaged for a while. I think his eye is actually okay now, but yeah, pretty insane to see what Maco is dealing with. All I can say is we pray that you're all right, bro, because this is some serious shit. And I really hope that once you are better, we're able to get an interview in where we can sort of reveal the whole story. Because I do believe that Maco is a really talented dude who didn't really get a fair shake in this industry. And that's not to say that he won't eventually, because hopefully he can sort the situation out. But, Maco, talented guy, good dude. Hope you're all right, man. Next story. Okay, and so here is our last story of the day, and I say that because I am about to go to this Chief Keef listening event hosted by ASAP Bari, and we're actually going to do a live stream there, so you guys might want to see that, even though the live stream will have already occurred by the time you're watching this. But apparently, Yellow Wolf, he went on a tirade. He did a diss track where he dissed Post Malone, G-Eazy, and a whole bunch of other white rappers. Because if you're a white rapper, why not just diss other white rappers that you're pretty confident aren't going to shoot you? So he had some bars in a song called Bloody Sunday. Yellow Wolf took aim at G-Eazy. Here's a sample of what he said. He said, "Hold up, G-Eazy. I can't let this Tom Cruise looking motherfucker just paddle by. I don't know if I'm watching Vanilla Ice or Vanilla Sky. Marshall Mathers may have ignored you, but if you want the smoke, bring the foil. I'll boil you till the kettle's dry." And then more notably, he has some lines for Post Malone. He wrote, "Who else? I would diss Post Malone, but he don't even rap. Fuck it, fuck Post Malone just because let's see if he answers back. All that change, tits and funk, Chill Bill and the cowboy boots and hats. Damn Post, why can't we be friends? Our clothes already match. Poser, biter, appropriation thief. Give a fuck how many records you sold." Okay, is it obvious that I haven't actually listened to the song because I don't give a shit? But the interesting thing is the fact that Post Malone fired back. He actually took to Twitter and he said, "Yellow Wolf is a nerd and this tweet is the only support I will offer his album. Also, Yellow Wolf, please show me all your Chill Bill shit, please. Last I heard you was talking about how you wanted your shit like mine. I have a couple lenders. Don't worry, hit me up, Dad." Oh, and then also Posty said, "Let me know when your band is done with your dookie and wants to play some actual good music." So Post Malone is apparently about the smoke. He also posted a screenshot of Yellow Wolf commenting on his Instagram, just writing "getting it" with a bunch of weird emojis. So apparently Yellow Wolf was a fan very recently and is now no longer a fan of Post Malone. So this is a good hip-hop beef. This is a good beef because I feel like we can be pretty sure that nobody's going to get smoked over this one. But it is nice to see Post Malone sort of, let his hair down and get into the smoke with the lesser rappers. Although in this case, Yellow Wolf is about 1,000,000 times less popular than Post Malone. So a lot of people would say that this is probably not a great idea for Post Malone to waste any of his time on this, but hey, whatever. All's fair in love and hip hop. Speaking of love and hip hop, I'm going to be on the new season. No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally lying. And I just thought of that on the spot. So if I fooled you, it didn't take much to fool you. Adam 22, no jumper. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this breakdown of the news. I will be back hopefully daily. Hopefully we can get pretty close to daily soon. That is my big goal. It's apparent that I'm not going to be daily for March, but maybe April. Maybe April will be the month. Probably not. That's 420. Adam 22, drop a comment down below. Smash the like button. Subscribe. We out. Peace.